I'm Courtney and welcome to my channel. So today, in the next few days, I guess, I will be doing a reading vlog for the month of June. So my reading vlogs are kind of like reflections or reactions as I read a book that I hadn't read before. Sometimes you all have voted on them. This month I picked the one that I wanted to read because it's been a long time coming on my TBR, almost a year I would say. Got it during quarantine, sat around, and yeah, it's time to dive into it. And that book is Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. So this is the Twilight retelling in Edward's perspective. So Twilight was told originally in Bella's, and it was a much shorter book. This is pretty darn chunky, so I had to start this a little bit earlier if I wanted to get it out to you all on Monday or at a timely manner. So I'm starting it on Friday. I have today off. With my new job, I have what's called Summer Friday, so every other Friday I have off if I add 45 minutes to my day, Monday through Thursday, leading up to that. So today will be filled with reading this and then a few other errands I have to do for the weekend. But yes, in Cincinnati right now it is about 80 some degrees and cicadas are slowly, thank goodness, dying. So if you're not familiar with these bugs, they come out every 17 years and like mate, and then they're not harmful to humans at all. They're just annoying. They fly everywhere, they're left all over the place, they're huge and they're loud. Like, I hadn't been able to go outside and walk and do like normal stuff outside in probably a month, and they're finally going away. So I'm hoping during this reading vlog I can actually get out and read outside, maybe by the pool, we'll see. But if not, totally okay. I'll get some reading done in a coffee shop and here on this couch and probably in my home library, home office. So yes, I will say that this will probably take or have some spoilers in it, and if you've read Twilight, I don't think there will be much spoilers. Like, I'm not going into this thinking that I'll be surprised, really. I'll just maybe get some more insight, which I guess is new knowledge, but in terms of like events happening, I should not be surprised because I know the first book and I know the whole series. Read it numerous times, watched the series numerous times as well, which I can't remember, has it been like 15 years I think since the movies come out? It's been a while, and my friend and I are going to do a marathon after I'm done reading this book and watch through all the movies. We might skip Eclipse because I mean, obviously I have a problem remembering it because I don't like that version at all. So we'll see if we get to that point. But yes, plan is to read through this book over the next few days and then report back my findings and reactions as I go through it. So yeah, I'm anticipating, obviously it'll be in Edward's perspective like I had said, but probably a lot more detail of what he was up to while clearly he wasn't with Bella, and like how he kind of handles his inner turmoil when it comes to wanting to like kill her, or like her blood drives him crazy and like animalistic and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not familiar, I guess I should say that too, if you're not familiar with the Twilight series, it is about Bella, a human who moves there from Arizona to Washington. So it's Forks, Washington, which is a little bit away from Seattle. And then there's these family of vampires known as the Cullens who also attend the same school, and she is attracted to Edward, who is the one single Cullen in the family. It's, yeah. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's kind of sounds ridiculous, but yeah. But yeah, it's just her going throughout her, I think it's her junior year, with this family and like learning the secret that they are vampires, and like her, I guess she's wise beyond her years, and like that's, I feel like, going to be a thing that they talk about in this book, and how like Edward is literally old, but he's living as a 17-year-old forever. But Bella has like an old soul and is very mature for her age. So yeah, that's the gist of it. I mean, I don't think it's like a groundbreaking like literary phenomenon, but it is something. I don't know if they had midnight releases for the Twilight series. I feel like they had like book parties or something. I can't remember, but I am a big fan of the series, and you know, it was a big part of my teens. Now as a 31-year-old, still reading it and still enjoying it. I also downloaded a podcast that I'll listen to probably after I read this book too, because I think they're going to cover it. But yeah, that is that, and I will check back in with you soon. I'm back and I'm listening to some ASMR. It's called Smooth Jazz Music and Bossa Nova Relaxing Coffee Shop Music Ambiance. It's actually really nice. Kind of wish that was the music I was listening to when I was at the coffee shop earlier, but that's okay. So, book update. I'm 128 pages in, and I am realizing like how much of a stalker Edward is. I think it's a weird combo of like endearing and creepy, like how much he notices about her and climbs through her window and watches her sleep and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just odd. Like, how did I not see that before with watching Twilight and reading Twilight the first time in Bella's perspective? Literally, we didn't have what Edward was thinking through that. So yeah, there's a lot of detail of him thinking about her, thinking about their future, thinking about her sleeping, and oh my gosh, it's cute, but like I said, creepy and weird. So yeah, we'll see how much more. I'm going to at least try to get to 200 pages today, hopefully more. That probably won't even be halfway through, but because it's a 3-day weekend, I'm hoping that maybe 200, 250 pages a day will get me there, but we'll have to see. Sorry, y'all, for the delay a little bit. I was super busy yesterday, had a lot of fun plans and things going on because it was such a beautiful day out, even though it like poured in the morning. But I was outside hanging with friends and family, so sorry I didn't get to talk to y'all. But I am this far in, so almost at the halfway point. And yeah, I feel like there's not much to update on because if you know the story, you kind of know what's happening. But I will say I really like getting the backstories of Jasper, Emmett, and Rosalie a little bit more. Also, we're learning about Esme and Carlisle's like love story, which I can't remember in the books if there was that much focus on it, but like it's just so cute. I know it's under weird circumstances that they got together or whatever, becoming vampires and everything, but Esme had met Carlisle when she was younger and liked him then, so I thought that was really sweet that their love story is like one for the ages in a way, in a weird way, but still a love story. So yeah, we are at the point where Bella and Edward are like an item at school, and like he's getting a lot of pushback from his family of like, this is not a good idea, but he's like, well, she already knows, like I'm all in at this point, like why not just keep going and see what happens. And we're still getting more stalkery moments and obsession with her, which like I get it, you're in love and all that, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like he never sleeps. Every waking moment, he is thinking about her in the minds of people around her. Oh, what he did for Angela, I thought was really cool. So Angela's like the sweetest of Bella's friends, and he had noticed that Angela had a crush on this other guy, but the other guy wasn't like giving her the time of day. Not that he was being mean, he just didn't know. So him and Edward and Emmett came up with this like ploy to have this guy realized that he has feelings for Angela, so he kind of like set them up, which I thought was really cute. So yeah, we're getting into his mindset of the people that Bella surrounds herself with, how he really does not like Mike or Jessica, and how like vain and selfish that they are, which I kind of knew that, but it's just even more so hearing their thoughts through Edward's perspective, that it's like, oh my God, they were so mean, even though like what was coming out of their mouth was not what they were thinking at all, like complete opposite. But trying to think what else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I'm at, and then I probably won't finish this by the end of today, but that's okay. I filmed another video just in case this was going to happen, so that will be my, at this point of you watching this, this is my July TBR for my Myth Take Readathon Reading Challenge Path versus Pantheon, and that is hosted by Myth Take Reads on Instagram and YouTube. So I filmed that video thinking that I was not going to finish this, and I'm correct. So feel free to watch that, or if you already watched that, then hope you liked it. But realize that I still have a ways to go, and I was trying not to stress too much while I was outside with my friends and family, that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be in the moment and like not thinking about, I need to finish this book. And I was glad that I like let that go and enjoyed the time that I had outside and on a beautiful Saturday. So now it is Sunday, reading some more, had some errands to run, went to the gym, and yeah, just seeing what I can do and not trying to rush it. And if that's cool with you, that's cool with me. If not, I'm sorry, maybe a little bit not sorry. And yeah, just thankful that you're here watching this whenever this is out or whenever you're able to. So yeah, I'll catch up with you later. So now I've transitioned to the audiobook version of Midnight Sun and just getting some walking in and enjoying the narrator a little bit differently on, I guess, like the voice actor. So very calming presence, much like Edward, so that was good. But yeah, I apologize. This is taking a little bit longer than expected. So this is probably not my best reading vlog thus far. I guess that's not too bad 6 months into doing it. I will continue to do them, but realizing that picking chunky books is probably not the best idea, since I don't know, I feel like I was very overwhelmed just with a lot of work stuff happening, and then volleyball picking up and training for my marathon. So yes, these sound like excuses. I just, my body's just very tired, and the time I would have spent reading is now resting and like chilling, napping, all of that stuff. Even though reading is relaxing, I still want to pay attention and like know what's happening. So I think the last time I talked to you, I was on a walk and then my camera died, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this would happen while I'm trying to do this, the longest reading vlog I've ever done. So yeah, but that walk was really nice, by the way. And I've gotten a lot more of the book read while I was walking, and then when I was like driving and everything. So using the audiobook version in conjunction with the physical book has been good, and I feel like I'm not losing anything by listening to. I always believe audiobooks count as reading, but when I read a book, I usually stick to one format and that's it. But I think going back and forth has been a benefit. So with that being said, I'm hoping this is the last check-in before I finish the book, because I am right there. Does that look okay? Oh my god, that's pretty good. I think that's like 80 pages left. So what can I say from here? I don't, it's hard. I think I mentioned this already, because it's not a lot of new information. It's the same plot, but you're just learning more about Edward, which I guess is different and new, but I already know what events are going to be happening. So I think that's why I'm like not as excited as I thought. I don't know. I think I was indifferent leading in or going into it, but now I'm still like, oh, okay, like this is cool, I guess, to learn more about Edward's perspective. And like he leans a lot into being able to read people's minds, especially Alice's, and how I didn't realize how many things she can see or like visions she can have at once, and like can run through them very quickly, and then Edward's able to read her mind and like work through them together. So I think that's kind of fun. I think, let's see, we're at the point now where they just saved Bella from James down in Phoenix at the ballet studio, and it was actually quicker than I thought, him saving Bella and like sucking the venom out. I thought it would be a really painful process for him, and it was, but it was over in like a page and a half, I'd say. So that I think wasn't as, I was like, ooh, I wonder if we're gonna get insight into like his thirst, his bloodlust, all that kind of stuff. But his love for Bella obviously is stronger than that, so I should have seen that coming, of his power, his willpower at least. I also think Jasper is such a more interesting character than I realized, and I'm like even thinking about the movies too, how his talent wasn't really utilized too much. Like there was like one or two scenes where we learned what he does, but Jasper was pretty critical in a lot of the scenes to affect people's emotions. So for example, when James, Laurent, and I can't remember the redhead's name, Victoria come to the baseball field, or when they're playing baseball, Jasper puts like a shroud of like calmness or like indifference over the whole group of them, so as not to draw attention to Bella being a human and like their animosity or like standoffishness for having visitors that could be threatening to Bella and like the way that they live. So he was pretty critical, and like I don't know, like that's pretty cool, and I wish they had spent more time on that in the movies for sure. But then in Twilight itself, you really couldn't tell because you're in Bella's head the most of the time, and he doesn't really get that much credit. So yeah, we learn more about Rosalie. Like I think we'd already known that she is like a lot about like vanity, but also like wishing for more human experiences and jealous of Bella because of that. So we should dig a little bit deeper into that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for my check-in for now. And yeah, hopefully next time I check in, I will be done. Guess who finished? Oh, it feels so good to finish a chunky book. Like, seriously, y'all, that is a major accomplishment, whoever you are, but I am ecstatic because since I've had this on my TBR, I feel like I have a lot of chunky books on my TBR and on my own shelf that I'm just so intimidated by. And it's funny because I make the comparison with my friends of this book could probably be like 2 or 3 books, like smaller books combined, but I'm like, no, I want to read 2 or 3 like smaller books that are 200 to 300, maybe 400 pages, and then I'll feel good that I've read 3 different stories. But that is not as impressive accomplishment, I guess, than like a thick book. So you know what? I'm proud of myself. Took me a year to read this, but when I actually started reading it, it took about a week. So that I think is a win. So my thoughts, I'm going to say initially that this is going to be a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And I feel that this is mainly driven by the fact that it is the same story. And I know that's the point, but I wish there was a lot more reveals, or I don't know, like it literally was right up when Edward met Bella up until prom. Which is pretty much Bella's perspective as well. And I guess, I don't know, it just took out part of the fun or like the plot for me because I knew what was going to be happening. And you get some insight when like Bella and Edward aren't together and you just see what Edward is up to. As we know in Twilight, we just see what Bella's up to in her point of view. So I guess that is different, but I don't think it was different enough to have an engaging story, I guess. It was a lot of detail. I've talked to a lot of other readers who've dove into this book as well, saying that like it's thicker because you get so much of Edward's reading other people's minds, and that drives a lot of the plot or the dialogue on his end, and like we know that he can't read Bella's mind, so it's like that is nothing new. Like we're not gaining anything different with their relationship, so that was kind of like but I guess to understand Edward's, like how he's understanding Bella is with her interactions with other people, because he can read their mind. So I thought that was kind of interesting, where we learn more about how like humble and selfless Angela is, and then how I don't want to say rude, but like not as helpful Jessica is, and how jealous she is of Bella with Edward and Mike Newton. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I don't know, like I don't know if Stephenie Meyer's goal moving forward is to write Edward's perspectives in all the other books moving forward. It would be interesting, because most of New Moon, Edward is gone. Like he's on his own. He is heading to Italy. So I think that one would probably be more interesting, because we have no idea what he does. Like there's so much unknown, because Bella is literally by herself hanging out with Jacob most of the book. And yeah, that would probably be one I would read. Eclipse is not my favorite at all. I did not like it at all. Even when I watch the movies, I skip Eclipse. And then getting to Breaking Dawn, I wonder, would his perspective, maybe like as he becomes a father. Oh my gosh, I probably should have not spoiled this. So sorry if you haven't read the rest of the books. I'm so sorry. Yeah, like as him and, well, I'm going to go into more spoilers into the future books. So if you don't want to hear any more, then stop watching. But like what it means for him to be a husband to a human at first, and then when Bella turns into a vampire and they have a kid before that transition is made, maybe it'll be interesting to hear what his thoughts are then. Yeah, I'm trying to think anything else that I would look forward to that would be different from what Bella experienced and like the story and the plot. But all I can think of is New Moon, because that's when they're the most separated and like we don't know what's happening. So his experiences away from Bella would be totally new, and like his thoughts would be different and all of that. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself because we're focusing on this one. And yeah, I think I still stand by my 3.5 stars. Like enjoyable, but it wasn't as entertaining as I thought it was going to be in terms of new knowledge and new information about the story. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at there. It's funny because my friend, I think I mentioned this, it's been so long since I've did the intro to this video. I don't remember what I told you all about what I plan to do after I read this, but I think I told you all I'm gonna have a movie marathon with one of my friends who also loves the series. So that'll be fun to go through. And like, I've seen the movie way more than I've read the book Twilight. I've read the physical book twice and listened to the audio once, and then I've only read this once. But the movie I've seen so many times, and I love doing the comparisons and seeing what they changed and knowing a little bit more about Edward and like what he's hearing. I kind of wish they included more of that in the film, because like all the interactions Edward has with Alice, Jasper, Esme, Rosalie, and Carlisle in his mind is so much, it's much more fascinating, but it's harder to, I guess, put that into a film or to pull that off. And it was, what, like 12 years ago the film was made, so maybe they just didn't have the technology to be able to do stuff like that, to pull it off better. But then they did try it in Breaking Dawn when Jacob was a wolf and he was talking to all the other wolves. So yeah, but that still was pretty painful to watch and listen to. I mean, it might have just been the acting. I don't know. This is bad. I'm sorry. I love the series, but like I also pick it apart. It's just a guilty pleasure, which is totally fine. And I grew up with it, so it's, I don't know, it's reminiscent of my childhood. Anyway, so that's the plan. Watch the movie and then see what Stephenie Meyer is up to next. I'll probably, I do have, my mom got me, I can't remember what it's called. It's the It's like an alternative version. Let me go get it real quick. So that book is Life and Death. It's the 10th anniversary edition of Twilight, but it's Twilight reimagined. So let me read you the plot. It says, there are two sides to every story. You know Bella and Edward. Now get to know Beau and Edith. When Beaufort Swan moves to the gloomy town of Forks and meets the mysterious, alluring Edith Cullen, his life takes a thrilling and terrifying turn. With her porcelain skin, golden eyes, mesmerizing voice, and supernatural gifts, Edith is both irresistible and enigmatic. What Beau doesn't realize is the closer he gets to her, the more he is putting himself and those around him at risk, and it might be too late to turn back. So I just think it would be somewhat comical to read this and see like what, if anything, changes besides their gender. I really don't know. It's intriguing, but yeah, I have everything else to do with the Twilight series, so why not add this onto it as well? I don't know if there's going to be multiple of these. I just think it's something fun and different and light. Maybe this will be a good like beach read or plain read or something. It's pretty short. It's probably, just as long as Twilight, which makes sense if it's literally the same story, just changing gender, but who knows. Anyway, that comes to the end of the reading vlog for Midnight Sun. So what happens next? A couple of things I was going to update you on while I have you here. So remember I was talking to you about chunky books. Still reading this. About halfway. My tracker on Goodreads and Storygraph says I'm 48%, so not even half. I've been reading this for almost a year, which is so sad. I'm like, do I even remember what's happening in this book? I don't know. So the goal is to stretch goal is to finish reading this by the end of June, which if you're watching this on the day it goes live, it is June 28th. And I hope I had made progress to that day because I'm recording this on Saturday. But yeah, I also, with the same approach of Midnight Sun, I found the audiobook on Libby, which is like a library audio and ebook service if you just have your library card to your local library. And I'm going to probably do the same thing, alternate this like print book when I like have the downtime and like sitting somewhere or I'm like waiting for like an appointment or something, and then audiobook while I go for walks, make dinner, fold laundry, and commute and stuff like that. So there is hope that I can finish this in what is now 3.5 days. By the time you're watching that, it is 2 days. So wish me luck on that. I also am starting Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so that I also have on audiobook. So I need to figure out, that is also through Libby, and I think I'm down to 8 or 9 days of that. So I need to balance, because it took a long time to get it. I don't want to give that back, or I don't want to lose it so soon because it's a new release and it'll take me a while to get it back. And I really want to read it because I love her writing and her stories. Daisy Jones and the Six, phenomenal, also amazing on audiobook. So I need to balance Written in My Heart's Blood and Malibu Rising, but we'll see. And then I just announced on Instagram my July reading vlog pick, and that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So this is also part of the Path or Pantheon reading challenge that Myth Take Reads over on Instagram is hosting, which I have a whole video about that. I'll post it up above here if you want to check that out. But this is I can't remember like the official name, but like the sub prompt of the name of the prompt is the first book in a series. So technically, I don't know if this counts as like the Lord of the Rings trilogy prequel series, if people believe that that's all one series, even though the trilogy, it's kind of its standalone and this is its own thing too. But I'm going to count it as the first book in the series because I really want to read the whole series, and I've watched all the films. I haven't watched The Hobbit, but the reading vlog plan is to read this and then also watch the adaptation and then do some critiques or something like that. So a little bit different of a reading vlog than what I've done in the past. So yeah, that is my plan. Also, personally, I am on day 4 of the My Peak Challenge. So speaking of Outlander a little bit ago, I follow Sam Heughan, who plays Jamie Fraser on Outlander, and he is like a really cool guy from what I can tell, like really philanthropic, loves working out and like fitness and like health goals that aren't just like physical, it's like mental and like dietary and nutrition kind of goals. And he has this program called the My Peak Challenge. It's a 1-year program that includes like a meal plan that can be designated for vegetarian / vegan and or like meat eaters. So I'm like, this is fantastic. And then it has a breakdown of all the workouts, and I have loved it so far. The workouts are so interesting, and I found like a new app on my phone that has you track. You don't have to keep track of like the timing, because it's like, okay, 4 rounds of 45 seconds of these specific exercises. So that has been helpful. I'm learning a lot about different like muscle groups and different exercises, since they record all the workouts and you can follow along if you want to. You can do variations and things. So I think it's really encompassing of whatever fitness level you are, and you can like set your own goals and things like that. So I've been loving it so far. The meals have been surprisingly delicious. Like I had the other day this sweet potato stuffed breakfast bowl thing, and it had a baked sweet potato, Greek yogurt, and hemp seed, maple syrup, sliced apples, and something else I'm forgetting. I think cinnamon. I don't remember. But it was delicious. I'm like, who would have thought to put this together? Maybe other people thought that. I did not. And then what else? I made my own pudding, which I thought was pretty interesting. And it breaks it down into, okay, here's what you, for like every single day, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks, which I'm a snacker. Like I'm an anxious eater. I am a stress eater. I'm constantly like picking at things. So it's been nice to know like, okay, what are some good snacks to have? And it's not just like a pear or an apple. Like there's different smoothies you can make. I think one coming up is like a matcha smoothie, which I think I've mentioned before. I'm not a fan of matcha, but maybe in a smoothie it'll taste different if we add some different flavors in there. Not sure. So yeah, I'm like getting excited talking about it. Like I said, it's only day 4 and I'm doing like monthly check-ins. So I know I've mentioned time and time again how many challenges I've joined and things I've tried, but this one I'm hoping to stick with. So hopefully I'll get to update you on that as the months continue. So knock on wood. Anyhow, way more personal detail than you'd probably want, or maybe not, let me know. Even though like this vlog took longer, so it did take a week, I'm like not opposed to doing that in the future for like different things I'm doing, maybe not just on the same book. Like other vloggers who do a weekly vlog or a reading vlog in my case have like different elements of like, okay, like now I'm going to the grocery store, let me check in with you all about what things are happening in my social life and all this kind of stuff. So maybe I'll do that. I just need to, I've started a new job. I'm trying to figure that stuff out. And then the My Peak Challenge, which might be interesting to include some content in there for you all if you're interested. So I'm still trying to work out what that reading vlog or weekly vlog could look like. This was, I guess, a little test of what that could be, but I felt like at least the reading part was a struggle. So maybe including other parts to share a little bit more about me would be more interesting. We'll see when I get to that point, or if I get to that point. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or comment down below if you've read the series, if you have other books for me to check out for other reading vlogs in the future, or you just want to say hi, feel free to do that. And hit subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. I usually post once a week. Next week, I think, will be either the June wrap-up or the mid-year freak out book tag, which is one of my favorite tags to do. I did a whole podcast episode with Anne Bogle at Modern Mrs. Darcy about it, and like I am excited to dive back into those prompts again. So it'll be one of those two, but at least we know what the next 2 weeks will look like. It'll be one or the other, and then what I didn't use will be the week after that. So you get a little sneak peek of what the next 2 weeks will look like. And then I think I'm going to head up to Chicago. That might be another video of checking out bookstores there. If not there, then I don't know. Probably 4th of July weekend kind of stuff. I don't know. It's up in the air. And yeah, feel free to hit the notification bell so you know when I post in the future. And share with other people you think would like this. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and happy reading.